other option you're going to come across is the Covertec wheel. For those of you who are not versed in all the geekdom that is Star Wars lore, the Covertec wheel was the belt attachment used in the prequel trilogy of sabers. It was meant to be more of a modernized version of belt attachment. And what it is a rounded wheel that mounts to the saber that sort of clicks into a belt clip that holds it securely on your belt, rather than the original trilogy style of the D-ring, which goes on sort of a hook clip, or even a carabiner or something like that will clip into the D-ring. So the Covertec wheel actually is drilled and tapped and mounted roughly here. I don't have this actually drilled for a Covertec, but it will mount along the centralized spine that lines up with the bottom axis of the saber, and it will bridge sort of two windows, never fully blocking either window, but it does take off sort of the corner of visibility on those two panels there on the upper panels. But those Covertec wheels are also available in both aluminum. We've got black anodized. We have engraved anodized. So we have different symbols that we offer laser engraved onto the black Covertec wheels. This one is the Old Republic Sith, but we have the Jaybirds, we have the Galactic Cogs, Imperial Cogs, different laser engraved symbols that you can choose from. And then of course we have the copper and brass metals that you can get for that as well. If you already have a Covertec clip, these would be a great option to put on the saber for belt attachment. If you don't have one, we do sell it in the accessories section. You can also pick one of those belt clips up there. So if you like the idea of that more prequel style, episode 1 through 3 of belt attachment, that's what these are. The next option, and sort of the last actual physical option you're going to be able to choose on the saber, is your blade type. And what I mean by that, it will say heavy grade blade or heavy grade upgrade. And what that means is it changes the thickness of the blade tubing itself. There's a lot of information out there where people tell you if you're going to want to duel with it, you have to choose heavy grade blades. This is not necessarily true, but I am going to go through and show you the difference in the two. And this is some raw stock of the blade tubing. And this goes whether it's an LED style blade or a pixel blade. They use the same exact tubing. This is your standard grade, or what some companies call mid-grade blades. And then we have our heavy grade, what some people call dueling grade. It's sort of a misnomer, but it's just a double wall thickness of blade. This is a 16th inch wall thickness, and this is an 1/8 inch wall thickness. And as far as dueling capabilities go, for many, many years in the lightsaber hobby, this is what every single person uses. Both tubing are made out of polycarbonate, which, if you don't know, is the same material used in some bulletproof glass, riot shields, and other impact-resistant materials. It is made to take impact. It has a very strong and resilient nature to it. While any blade can break, that does not mean that this, being the thick wall, is any more impervious to breakage than the standard. In fact, we see a lot of these shattered just as much as we see breakages on standard blades. Now, the fear comes from a lot of people say you can't duel with standard grade blades, and that is not true. A properly made blade, whether it's standard or heavy grade, is going to be just as durable as the other. What you can't do is mix types. So if your opponent or the person that you happen to be sparring with or doing saber play with is using a heavy grade, you should have a heavy grade blade. If they have a standard grade, you should have a standard grade. You can't mix the two, because obvious differences in physics will dictate that one will be not happy with the other. As far as which is best, well, there are only two places where it's required to use a heavy grade, and that's if you do one of the actual groups like the Saber Legion, which does the tournament style dueling, or if you do Saber Guild, which is full contact choreography. Both of those organizations require heavy grade blades. As far as my personal philosophy, I've been doing this for over 15 years. Standard grade blades hurt good enough. If you're just the occasional saber player, or you just messing around with friends or family in the backyard, or you really don't do any dueling at all, don't waste money or time or effort on the heavy grade. Just stick with the standard blade that comes with the saber if you choose the blade included option. For LED style sabers, like we discussed earlier in the video, where it's the baselit blade, heavy grades are actually dimmer than the standard grade blades, and that is because less light is able to get up the tube than the standard grade. So, and it also has more material to try to soak through, so it does reduce the available visible light on a standard LED baselit saber. Pixel blades, it does not matter. There is no difference in brightness between pixel on a heavy grade versus standard grade. But once again, if you don't need the heavy grade blade, as in you're not required by any groups that you're in to have heavy grade blades, I don't recommend them. So that's it. That's all of the physical options that are available in the drop downs on the Promethean. I'd like to do these kind of videos for some of our other sabers, especially the ones that have similar options like Sovereign and Protector, those that have more complicated features that people don't understand. Unfortunately, and I know I hear the requests about having an online configurator that will show different images of what each inlay option will look like together. I wish I could do that. Unfortunately, that kind of software seems to be only affordable by Fortune 500 companies, and we are a small manufacturer based out of Georgia that likes to make flashy toys for people. So while I'd love to do that, it's just not in the cards at this time. Unless someone out there is watching this video and says, hey, I can do that, give me a call. I'd love to work out something with you. In any case, I hope this video definitely helps you guys choose what options, or at least know what the different options mean on this very rich saber for features. Thanks again, and enjoy your lightsabers.